Being an educator is one heck of a lonely journey, but every step holds a story, an experience that shapes how we teach, learn, and grow. Welcome to the Educator Experience. I'm your host, Salli Carter, and together we'll explore the moments that define us as educators. Through authentic conversations and shared experiences, we're building a community that connects, reflects, and inspires, all while breaking down barriers in education, one story at a time. You are not alone. Let's grow together. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Educator Experience podcast. I'm your host, Salli Carter, and this is the space where educators share impactful moments in their teaching careers. Why are we talking about this? Because we're building connection, we're building community, and we're building support for one another through our shared stories, which is kind of fun, right? Today, I'm super excited to be talking with Roberta Sawatzky. Now, she's been involved in the post-secondary realm for almost 20 years now, starting off as a dean for a private college and then transitioning into a faculty role with Okanagan College, where she's been the past few years. Now, she took a couple of years off to travel and write some books, which we will be showcasing throughout, and check the notes for all the links. I happen to have a signed copy because it makes me feel super special, but she has a recent one out as well. Check it out. And she's heading back to the classroom this coming year. Her main focus is people and development, and she has a coaching and consulting company in Kelowna, British Columbia that focuses on that as well. So check her out. Today's conversation really focuses on the impact of traveling, how we can create empathy through our travels and bring it back to the classroom, and then the impact of that in creating connection and rapport. I think folks will really be able to connect with this and notice the impact that it creates in their classroom. I hope you enjoy. I wanted to ask you, because when we first connected a year ago, I learned about your fascinating love of traveling. And I got your book, I read your book, and it's just so inspirational about how you purposefully travel to bring those experiences back, also for love of it too, and how it's impacted your teaching. And I just got back from 4 months away, and I was laughing this morning about how I actually took a video a few days ago when I was returning home about how much I hate traveling. I hate it. I was sweaty. Roberta, I have never been so sweaty. Cleaning the house where I was staying, I was cleaning that house, sweaty and 40 degrees, to come home to clean my house, to have it get dirty with the 1,800 bags that I brought. And it's a nightmare. And I thought about this conversation and how you're likely going to bring in your love of traveling.
Yes, travel has always been a super important part in my life, right from a kid growing up. So I grew up in Ireland, and my family immigrated to Canada when just a month before I turned 12. And so from Ireland, we always have had holidays, whether it was going down to the south of Ireland or over to Scotland, England, Wales, wherever we could go to there. And just different experiences of people. And I mean, it's kind of all in the same geographical area, but there's a big difference between Southern Ireland and Northern Ireland and Scotland and England. Accents are different depending where you are in a city. If you're from that street, you have this certain accent. If you're from this street, you have a different accent. So my dad was able to distinguish exactly where people would be from, whether it was Scotland, England, or Ireland, because he traveled. He was a salesman, and those were all territories that he went to. So we knew that things were different, even, in close country like that. But at least everybody was speaking English. Heavy accent, but still they're speaking English. So if they really slowed down, you could figure out what they're saying. Then we traveled to other countries, like to Spain. And then when we were married, Rob and I have traveled to different countries on vacation. So when you're on vacation, you love hearing the different languages. And it's not really important that you figure out a lot of stuff because you're only there for like 2 weeks and then you're gone. And you look like a tourist, so people give you a little bit of grace.
Mhm.
You could see that things were done differently, but again, you're just kind of helicoptered in, and that's the way it is. And you leave, and you recognize, oh, that's the way they do things. Isn't that interesting? That's really nice. And then you leave and go home, and you're back to your regular way of life. So for my extended study leave at the end of 2021, I was researching remote work and leadership
Mm.
in remote work. So I had done research before that with my son. And so we were researching the competencies of remote leaders. So we were doing that before COVID hit.
Mm.
And then COVID hit and it was kind of like, okay. So this is
Well,
it in real
perfect
life.
timing,
Yeah.
right?
Because both of us, like I have worked remotely in some capacity all my life. It's my priority was always if my kids were at home sick, if there was a school outing, anything, I wanted to go. And so I always made arrangements with whoever I was working for that I would work from home if my kids were sick. And it was always agreed to because I proved to them that the work would get done, my teams wouldn't suffer in any capacity. But for me, remote work was really all about the priority of family and not my family working around my work, the other way around. And our son worked remote for many, many years and still does. And our daughter works remotely as well. So it's a really a big part of our family. So I wanted to learn about the competencies, but I wanted to learn it from people who are working remote. So again, you take your theories about motivation, about engagement. Um, you take all of that, but then you actually put real life stories into it. And then you can say, okay, does this hold up here?
Mhm.
You know, the competencies that you may have been hired for to be a customer service rep physically in an organization where you've got a team sitting around you, where you've got people you can go to immediately if there's a problem, are a little bit different than if you're a customer service rep sitting in your own home. No team around you, all your way of communicating when you're on a call as you may have Slack going, but you have to figure it out. That's a different competency
Mhm.
than if you're actually co-located. So we spoke to about 250 different remote workers, and it was people in North America and across Europe. And so we gathered that information and then wrote it up. So then for my extended study leave, I wanted to go a little deeper. So I have a huge passion for leadership and people in leadership. And so 20 yeah, starting in 2023, people had time to start settling in to everything and settling into hybrid work, different kind of flexible arrangements. So what did that mean for people who are actually leading teams? Because that's a huge, huge difference.
Mhm.
So I had an opportunity to do an extended college leave, or extended study leave, which was 12 months long. And so we decided that we were going to go to Europe and to do that. So I did some research here before we left. Then we went to Europe. And my husband had recently been diagnosed with kidney failure. And so, again, huge change. And thus, that's the second book I wrote. It's hiding right here.
Is it out?
It is
Between
out.
here. Oh my gosh, I'm excited. Perfect.
Yeah, between here and
Perfect.
there, embracing life's transitions. And so, you come to that point, okay, what do we do? This is a huge change.
Mhm.
How are we going to embrace it? Is it going to define us? Or are we going to figure out a way to make it work? We figured out a way to make it work. So off we went with dialysis machines and everything in tow. So when you go to places, you're seeing them from a totally different perspective because you're not a drop-in visitor anymore. You're not a tourist. You're not a resident. And so it took a while for us to figure out, like, what are we? We're here. And so through my research, I was reading about sojourners. So a sojourner is someone who goes to a place. You're not really part of it, but you're engaging in it. You're
Mhm.
bringing as much as you can to it. And you're there for a time where you're also soaking up from them. You're learning from them, learning from their worldview, from their practices. Um, and sometimes they are not speaking one word of English. And so learning from learning from that, like especially in Valencia where we stayed, was in Cabañal. Nobody spoke English. And
Wow.
but we chose. We did not want to stay in a tourist area. We wanted to to experience what it was like, to shop at the markets, shop at the little corner stores or the supermercados, uh, take public transportation. We even had a bike pass. Like we wanted all of those things we wanted to do. And so there was definite joys of that, but there was also the challenges
Mhm.
because there's very few people that you could go and say, I don't know how to make this bicycle thing work. The instructions are all in Spanish and people come and go really quickly. And I'm standing there feeling like an absolute idiot because I can't figure out how to release this from the lock. And it's just a simple thing. But it's one of those things that make you realize that, when students come to our classes in Canada and their language skills are okay, but they're not strong. I mean, they have to have a
Mhm.
certain level to be in the business school, but it's all strange and it's challenging. And you don't want to speak and to try to practice another language because you don't want to look foolish.
Yeah.
Um, and so there were some words that, to learn how to say to get the very basics. My intent had been to learn lots more Spanish before we went, but that didn't happen. So, word to the
Life.
wise.
Life
Yep,
gets lifing sometimes. Best of
exactly.
intentions,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Yes.
but I tell you,
Yes.
if you have a chance before you go travel, take the time to learn some of the
For sure.
language. It's
Mhm.
absolutely key. But so that empathy that comes back with you into the classroom,
Mhm.
that you're reminded that coming to another country to study, it has its joys, its excitements, but man, it has its huge fears. And feeling like you're outside, you're not invited in.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of people all around who have never traveled. They don't have that same understanding of the difficulty for other people coming into new countries, um, and not fitting in or trying to fit in, but being looked at because maybe they come across very abruptly.
Mhm.
Well, that's their culture. Or they don't speak up for something that they want. That's their culture.
Mhm.
And so all of those different things. So that when I came back into the classroom, it was a really huge thing. And then even working with nonprofits, who are dealing with very marginalized people, it's like the people they're working with are living in a different culture.
Yeah.
Extreme poverty, mental illnesses, all kinds of stuff like that. We don't understand. We can't fathom that. But the compassion and the empathy
Mhm.
that we can gain from other experiences and draw on them and realize this is the way my mind works. That's not the way their mind works
Yeah.
because they've got a
Yeah.
whole different set of circumstances that they're dealing with.
It's
So, yeah.
such an interesting experience that you have to just
Mm-hmm.
fully immerse yourself. Um,
Yeah.
it makes me think of recently, I had a young Japanese lady,
Mm-hmm.
and she just out of nowhere started bawling during a
Oh,
quiz.
no. Yeah.
And so I brought her outside and I was talking to her, and I'm like, "What's going on? Are you okay?"
Yeah.
She's like, "I forgot English." She's like, I'm reading
Oh,
it, but under the stress of the situation, she
yeah.
completely blacked out
Yeah.
reading and writing English. And she's like, I know you gave us this beforehand and I was ready, but I've completely blanked out. And so we
Mm.
made alternate arrangements. But my
Yeah.
heart just broke for her.
Oh,
It's
definitely.
not her
Yeah.
first, like, it was probably maybe even her third or fourth language. And
Yeah.
she was an incredible, right? She's an
Yeah.
incredible student. She just started, oh, it was heartbreaking. It was
Yeah.
heartbreaking. Yeah.
But they, yeah,
We worked it out for
we
sure.
get put
Yep.
to shame, with our language
Yeah.
skills. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Project Literacy, is one of the nonprofits here that do absolutely phenomenal, amazing work with people
Mhm.
coming from other countries trying to learn English. And when you're tutoring, when you're working one-on-one with these individuals, you hear and you learn so much about where they've come from, uh,
Mhm.
the day-to-day challenges. One young woman I was tutoring was going to the dentist, and the terminology that the dentist was using, it just fortunately this young woman had the courage to say to the dentist what she thought the dentist was telling her.
Um,
And the dentist just cracked up laughing. She said, "Oh my goodness, no, I would never do that."
oh, wow. Poor thing.
But a lot of people, they
It
don't
comes back
have
with a
that
couple less
courage.
teeth.
Oh,
No big deal.
I know. But
Miscommunication in English.
yeah, oh yeah. But in that, as educators,
Yeah.
we're constantly working with people from different cultures, and
Yeah.
we assume that everybody knows what a gopher is. We assume that everybody knows, I don't know, something else that may be unique to Canada or to
Mhm.
wherever you are. We make those assumptions, and we don't stop and check in. Even looking at people's faces and the reactions on their faces to what you're saying is a good indicator that they haven't the slightest idea what you're
Yeah.
talking about. It's not a sign that they don't have intelligence. I mean, they are brilliant. Like you were referring to, some of them 4 or 5
Yeah.
languages.
Multiple
Like,
languages.
oh my
Yes.
goodness. But we have our very closed in perspective, and travel widely opens that. In the classroom, you can tell what students have traveled and what students have not traveled.
Mhm.
Their ability to work in groups with people from other countries, but also just other people in general, like, because they've learned how do you talk to people who don't necessarily think the same way as you do. But if their life experience is totally limited to where they were born and raised, like, I am a huge supporter of kids taking a gap year after high school, go travel. If
Sure
at
thing.
any way
Yes.
possible, it doesn't have to be expensive. It could be camping across Canada, just anything to get out of your comfort zone, to get
Mhm.
out of the way that you have been totally raised, so that you can see there's a different world out there, and you need to learn from it. And then that will inform how you learn, and your ability to be open-minded and consider others' values, other ways of doing things, to be able to
Mhm.
think critically about a theory that's presented to you, rather than saying, okay, this is a theory, it must be 100% true. No, it's a theory. And
Yes.
so how do you
It's your
challenge
way
it?
of thinking. It
Yeah,
doesn't mean it's everyone's way of thinking.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so you need to have that, the strength of character and the curiosity to question things. And travel, it builds your curiosity like crazy.
Absolutely. It's like an aspect of transformational learning.
It
You need
is.
to put yourself in situations where your own beliefs are being tested,
Mm-hmm.
um, so that, yeah, you can continue to grow and create,
Yeah.
evolve. But it makes me think about how one of the things that I've recently started doing, because my classes, I teach a lot of first year students.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I sometimes make an assumption. If I'm starting in second semester and I don't have certain classes in first semester, I make an
Mm-hmm.
assumption that people have already been going to school. But a
Yeah.
lot of them have just started.
Mm-hmm.
And I've missed that for a little bit. So I've started doing a thing where people talk about, or we put up on the board all the different countries that people are from,
Yeah.
so that they can connect. Some people don't know that maybe there's someone else from Peru or
Mm-hmm.
their home country in the class. So they
Yeah.
have that immediate bond, which helps them feel a little bit more comfortable
So
knowing that
true.
someone knows where they come from and
Mm-hmm.
knows their challenges.
Yeah.
So making those links at the beginning of a class, I have found, can be really helpful
Yeah.
for helping students become a little bit more comfortable.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, we put it
Yeah.
in our little thing on the board. Everyone pops up. Hey, there's
Yeah.
other people from India
Yeah.
here. Okay, where are they? Say
Mm-hmm.
hi. Maybe
Yeah.
connect after the class, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's so much that you can build out, then really encouraging questions like from the students, like you have someone right in front of you who has lived in that country. Is there something you want to know about it? But
Right?
you've no idea where to find out, and just, of course, setting the respect guidelines,
Yep.
but to be able to make it okay and to make it actually the right thing to do, to use your curiosity to learn about another country from somebody that's their home, and how that
Absolutely.
builds a bond as well.
And just to be able to ask questions. If you know where people are from, you can integrate or ask questions. So, what do you know of this? Is this similar in your country? Or how do
Hmm.
you interpret this? Or
Yeah.
how do businesses do things differently?
Yeah.
Maybe. It just adds such enrichment to the conversation in the
Hmm.
classroom, I
Yeah.
think, for
Yeah.
sure, when we integrate the various cultures and
Hmm.
not just rely on
Yeah.
how we do things here in
Yeah.
Canada.
And
Yeah.
again, when you do that in the classroom, you're teaching the students in a safe environment something that they will need to do when they're working in different jobs.
Mhm.
Because inevitably, I mean, how many students in the area where we live are going to stay there?
Mhm.
More likely
Yeah.
than not, they're going to be spread all over the world, or they're going to be on teams where they're talking with people from different cultures. So, it's a skill then that they develop. Like, how do I learn about this person, because that's going to build a stronger culture. And
Mhm.
then as a team, they're much stronger because it's not strange people around them. They're embracing, they're welcoming their diversity, they're learning from it, and they're moving forward to plan and organize and do these events based on that uniqueness that is in the team. So,
So
yeah.
I have a question that's burning in my soul right now. Roberta, are you the type of person who travels with just a backpack?
Not just a backpack,
Okay. Okay.
carry on.
A carry-on. Okay.
Yeah.
Just a carry-on.
Carry on, and then, yeah,
So, oh my
just a
gosh.
small
Okay.
backpack. Yeah.
I think one of my challenges with traveling and my hatred, it's not actually a hatred of traveling, I'm exaggerating, but um, is that I bring so much stuff. The
Mm.
lady at the Air Canada check-in when I was coming home was like, ma'am, this is a lot of extra money you're spending. I'm
No
like, I
kidding.
know. She's like, can you not fit this laptop bag into this other extra large bag? Ma'am, I don't know if we're sharing the same eyeballs here, but everything is packed to the brim. I am fully aware of the hundreds of extra dollars I'm spending
Oh my
on stuff I
goodness.
never once wore.
Yeah.
Um, but I think I do it to myself. And if I were to
Yeah.
travel a little bit lighter,
Hmm.
my I wouldn't resent it as
Yes.
much.
Something
Yeah.
that was
It
one
makes
of the biggest challenges whenever we were in Europe. Like, we couldn't just go with carry on because that was our
yeah, with
original
the
plan.
medical
Yeah.
equipment, right?
And so, and one of the reasons why we hate
Ah,
not doing carry on is because luggage gets lost and late, and luggage got lost and late. So the inevitable happened. But we were able to bring on the plane all of the necessary immediate supplies that Rob needed. But it was such a sacrifice to have to bring so much
right?
luggage.
It really changes the dynamic of
It
traveling,
does.
doesn't
Oh,
it?
yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Especially in Europe, because you're getting
Mhm.
on and off of trains and all different kinds of transportation. But no, as a rule, carry on and a backpack.
Oh, I'm so
Yeah.
I have yet to adopt that mindset. It's funny because the name of your book, What If? This is
Hmm.
my brain before I travel. Well,
Uh huh.
what if a handsome cowboy billionaire just rides on his horse thingy through the town in
Uh
Ontario
huh.
that I'll be staying at and is like, you know what, Salli Carter, you lovely lady, I want to take you to a gala. I don't even know how to pronounce the word. It's probably too fancy for me. You know what? I hope you have a fabulous dress for this occasion. So these are the things that go through my brain before I travel.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I now need to pack 5
For a
fancy
gala.
dresses,
Yeah.
right? Just in case. And then 20 blazers for the summer,
Oh,
even though I don't have any actual physical work other than remote stuff, just in case.
uh-huh. And you're
Yeah.
in Ontario where the humidity is ridiculously
Oh, it
high.
was crazy.
And
Yeah, my family is like, how many? They have a bet going. How many bags is Sally going to bring? But for now, I'm staying put in my house. I'm happy to be in my office
yeah,
with with hangers. Yeah.
it's called embracing change.
Oh, I need to let go of a few things, I think, here, Roberta. I need to read
That's,
your next book.
there you go.
Yes, your next book, which will help. I can't thank you enough for this invigorating conversation. I'm still getting over my trauma from my travel. It was
Yeah.
absolutely worth it. I
Yeah.
feel like being able to just pick up and be with my family in Ontario for 4 months
Yeah.
to support them through a medical challenge
Mm.
was the first time in my adult life I felt like I've made it.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
I've dreamt of this life where I would be able to do that. I purposefully created online businesses and
Yeah.
online teaching commitments so
Mhm.
that I can travel, even though I know I'm talking negatively about it now. I'll get over it. But
Oh, you'll get over
I'll
it.
get over it. I'll get over
Get,
it. But just it's the ability to pick up and work from somewhere else.
yeah.
It's just so appealing and invigorating and
Hmm.
converse with different people and cultures. Like this is what I've dreamt of. So
Yeah.
even to be able to pick up and go across Canada to
Hmm.
spend time with my family, it really warms my heart. I did it. This
Yeah.
is what I've been working towards.
Yeah.
Do I have a lot more to work towards? Absolutely. But um yeah, it's such a
Yeah.
cool feeling. Such a
So,
cool
what
feeling.
advice would you give somebody if they were,
Oh
the
no.
fairly young in their career? Yeah, turn it around on you.
Oh
You're
no.
the fairly young in their career. They don't know what they want to do, but they don't want to be tied in. They're considering being able to do something that has flexible arrangements of some kind in it, whatever it looks like. What would your advice be to them?
Well, if that's what they know that they want, that
Hmm.
lifestyle, to
Yeah.
not settle for anything. I don't know a specific direction per se,
Hmm.
but to just not settle in the meantime for something that they could get stuck in.
Yeah.
I think young people, well, I don't know about young people nowadays, but I got stuck in jobs that I took in the interim, in
Mm.
between things that I
Hmm.
wanted. Well, those jobs can spiral into longer periods of time and to just
Yeah.
not settle. If you know the life that you want to be remote, to be able to travel, don't
Yeah.
take something that isn't in alignment with that.
Yeah.
Stay true to yourself. Yeah. How about
Yeah.
yourself? What would you say?
I think the same thing. I think, whenever you're saying stay true to yourself,
Yeah.
is, I mean, learn about yourself. Like some people, I think we have to acknowledge having a job that is flexible in whatever
Mhm.
format that looks like, it is too scary for them. They need the stable, regular routine. And that is fantastic. Like nobody should try to tell you you should be different. That's okay.
Mhm.
But learning about yourself, like just get to know your personality, learn about your strengths. Huge things. So what are my strengths? How do I show up? What's the kind of environment that I need to be most successful in? um, what's that? Like what kind of environment do I work best in? What
Mhm.
motivates me? What encourages me? So that's self-study. And then, learning, what are my skills? What do I do good? What
Yeah.
kind of jobs? Like when I look at people and I say, man, I would love to do what they do. Go
Mhm.
talk to them and ask them about it.
I
You know,
love it.
what,
Yes.
what does it take to
Yes.
do what you do? I mean, how about being a travel writer? I mean, come on, really? Getting to the point where somebody else is paying for all your travel? Or
Yes.
as professors, as teachers, we also know that the opportunities are there for travel abroad, for speaking at conferences, for attending conferences. Great opportunity to start really um, getting to know about different things that are out there. But I
Mhm.
agree with you. Don't, if that's what you want to do, set your sights on it. Go
Mhm.
for it. Yeah.
I worked in corporate world for 10 years
Hmm.
when I was younger, and I loved my job. It was great. I had stability, I had pension. My parents grew up as entrepreneurs, so I had everything, all the stability that they didn't have that they were so
Oh,
happy that I had.
yeah.
But there was just something in my heart that wanted something more, and I'm
Yeah.
just not a 9 to 5 person. The idea of waking up
Yeah.
and going to the same spot for the same hours, for the same pay, for a salary,
Yeah.
it just hurts my brain.
Yeah.
Um, so after 10 years, I'm like, I have to follow my dream and
Hmm.
see what I can do on my own and start
Yeah.
businesses. And it was rough. It was
Yeah.
rough for a number of years, but I've eventually figured it out.
Yeah.
But still, the idea of doing a 9 to 5, oof, no,
Don't put me
no.
there.
I want to be able to pick up
Yeah.
and go and work from a lakefront
Yeah.
somewhere or wherever.
Or a
Just having
cafe
that,
with jazz music playing in the
right?
background. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Yes. It that's something that matters to me.
Yeah.
And I'm very thankful for my
Hmm.
time in corporate world,
Yeah.
but um yeah, it really helped me realize
Yeah.
what I was meant to do instead.
Yeah. And you paid attention to what was it that caused unrest,
Yeah,
and what was what was your heart longing for? It
absolutely.
was it that freedom, was that, whatever it is.
Mhm,
But for students to pay attention to those things,
mhm.
and to not brush them aside, but sit on them, journal about them. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What does it look like? And just have the attitude that it is possible.
I love it.
Yeah.
It is absolutely possible. So I'm actually introducing a new way of winding down, a little
Okay.
segment. If I may ask you, what is one piece of advice that you would give to new post-secondary educators? What might that be?
What?
Hitting you with the hard stuff.
No kidding. Oh my goodness. Something to never forget that it's all about the students. Now, I'm not saying that the students say everything that has to be done, but the things that they're going to remember are not necessarily the things that you're going to spend hours and hours and hours and hours working on. So you go in there, you deliver what you need to deliver, but be willing to go down rabbit holes where the students are interested in. You'll get back to the other stuff that has to be taught, but enjoy the students. And if you can inspire them, if they can walk out of your classroom being able to ask critical questions, being able to think critically, and to just have the ability to challenge people.
Mm,
Like, just because the professor's standing up there does not mean they know everything, but students aren't going to challenge you unless you give them permission to. So I
mhm.
always tell my students, if you disagree with me, I want to know you disagree with me. And as long as it's done respectfully, we'll debate, and I welcome that. So keep focused on the
On the
students.
students.
Yeah.
Roberta, thank you so much for
Oh, it's
sharing
been
your
a joy,
time,
Salli.
your space. I'm so appreciative. My love of travel will come back, but you're definitely speeding the process. So thank you so much. And I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too, Salli. Take
Thanks.
care.
And I'm
And
gonna get your next book.
if you want to put that in the footnotes, just tell
I
people that,
absolutely
yeah,
will.
it's available on Amazon. Easiest way
Okay.
to get it.
Yay! Thank you. We are building our brand here at the Educator Experience, and we would love nothing more than for your support at this early stage in our development. So please, if you are liking what you're hearing, seeing, however you're viewing us, please give us a 5-star review. It really helps to get these stories out there even more so that we can continue to build and grow all that good stuff and put these connections out to the world. So thank you to everyone who's listening. Like, share, follow, review, all of that good stuff and help us on and help support us on our journey as well. Thank you. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of the Educator Experience. We hope you're walking away feeling connected, inspired, and just a little bit more supported on your journey. Ready to go a little bit deeper? Join the Educator Experiences community and check out our courses and workshops specifically designed to support new educators as they navigate the ups, downs, and everything in between. You'll find it all at educatorexperiences.com. If today's conversation resonated with you, share it with a fellow educator and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Together, we're building a vibrant community rooted in support and connection. See y'all next Monday.